A potting soil is a set of promises. We promise that it has nutrients that the plant will need. We promise a suite of employable microbes for the plant's foraging needs. And we promise that it will not have viable plant genetics, that you, the grower, will have the opportunity to choose what plant is going to grow there. Growing vegetables in the early 80s in Vermont, Vermont, we were left to make our own potting soils very quickly, and that made us intensely aware how important the quality of the mix was to the success of the crop. Basically, that's where Fort V was born, and we've tweaked it over the years since, but we've been making that same basic mix for over 25 years now. And we quickly realized that the quality of the potting soil really depended on the quality of every ingredient in it, especially the compost itself. Compost is by far the preponderant ingredient in our mix by weight. It's typically over 70% of the weight. And all composts are not created equal. Our goals in blending compost for inclusion in potting soil are that the compost be very mature and not exhibiting any toxicity to plants, that it have ample nutrients in relatively insoluble forms in stable proteins to provide for the plant as it grows, and a suite of microbes that the plant may employ in its foraging. Good diversity is essential for excellent compost, so we're multi-manurial practitioners. We use cattle manure, equine manure, poultry manure, hay, spoiled crops. We bed our chickens on hay. We add food scraps that are collected in the community, and we always add very old, mature compost going back into the very front end, and that gives a microbial continuity. We add a lot of other materials to the compost to enhance the mechanical properties. One of the things that works really well for that is sphagnum peat moss. High quality, horticultural grade sphagnum peat provides a huge amount of internal space, fractal space, galleries. The biota within the compost gets to migrate into the empty apartments represented by the sphagnum. The pH of the sphagnum brings down the pH of the compost into ideal ranges for most vegetable plants. Our sphagnum typically comes from Quebec or New Brunswick. We're confident that the sphagnum we buy comes from sustainably managed bogs. All of the sphagnum we get, and most sphagnum harvested in Canada, is harvested according to a protocol that enables the replanting of the bog after the harvest. People who are interested in this might want to go to the excellent website of the Canadian Peat Association. Vermiculite is a mica mineral that's expanded by heat, by fire in a kiln. The process is called exfoliation. The benefit that it imparts to the media is both water holding and drainage. So it gives us more fractal space within. And we've used it for many, many years, especially in our blocking mix, Fort V. Unfortunately, the world's supply of excellent horticultural vermiculite in native deposits is limited, and right now the only one we know about is in South Africa. So it's very far away. It has to be mined and come all the way to North America, and then the exfoliation process is a very expensive use of natural gas. We also now add coconut coir. In our trials, it showed benefit, especially in terms of being able to start to phase out the other types of light aggregates that we use, particularly vermiculite. Coir gives us an opportunity to have the amount of vermiculite. The material we use is a specific fraction of the coconut hull. We've added it to improve the loft. It's kind of the leaf springs in the mix. This coconut product helps, again, make for pathways for water and gases in the media. We manufacture an ingredient for potting soil called stone sweet. For many, many years, we've used a percentage of crushed granite in Fort V. We like the sharp edges that stimulate root division, we like the silica, and we like the long, slow release of minerals that granite provides. Over the years, we decided to include a basalt, another stone from our region. We get that ground basalt, which is very blue like the ocean. We mix that with the gray granite, and we blend that with compost, and we give it some time to age, and then we include that in our potting soils. So this gives us the mineral base of the soils that we admire in our community. We include a small amount of gypsum in our potting soils. We always have. It's an ingredient that people have used for tens of thousands of years. It's been a soil ingredient that helps to flocculate. It's a calcium source that doesn't raise pH, helps to stabilize protein in the mix. We include a portion of bone char in potting soil to assure a very available supply of phosphorus. So this is a charcoal made from the bones of slaughter animals. In our case, it's a byproduct of sugar refining, and it's a highly respected regular ingredient used in organic practice. In our mixes, we replaced mined phosphates, which are again limited, with bone char because it comes from animals and it's renewable and it's very available. We know that kelp provides a broad suite of beneficial micronutrients. It's another nitrogen source. All of the soils on land percolate to the sea, and the sea is a repository of a lot of nutrients. It sweetens. We love the smell of the sea that it imparts, so we add kelp. We've tried almost every kind of protein known to man. We've done alfalfa meals, we've composted soybeans, we've played with hoof and feather meal. We've found blood to be the most reliable protein to add to assure that there'll be dissolvable nitrate when the plant needs it. Blood is a completely unique protein. There's nothing like it. The blood that we use comes from the slaughter of meat animals, and many of us are uncomfortable with the lives those animals live. From the ethical perspective, while we may prefer to see a better life for slaughter animals, I can't think of any more respectful use for the blood they bleed than to grow good plants and grow food. Blood meal has worried certain people because of the possibility of spongiform disease, but blood has never been shown to be a vector. High temperature of the processing totally assures that there cannot be any of the normal viral pathogens or other bacterial pathogens that you might be afraid of. It's a very, very clean product. And blood remains expensive and reliable. So we use it, and we think it provides benefits that we can't find from any other protein source. Fort V is chosen by more of our growers than any other mixes, and it assures them profitability in their organic greenhouse businesses. In a greenhouse production setting, media, while an important cost, is a small cost compared to plant material, heat, labor, other overhead. If the media fails, the rest of the enterprise is sunk cost. So it's really important to buy the right media and enough of it. Whatever your reason for planting seeds, whether the intention is to sell bedding plants or to transplant for your own production in a field, the success is riding on the healthy growth of those seedlings. Fort V is our notion of the optimized matrix to perform the strenuous task it performs in a greenhouse, which is to produce a healthy plant with restricted media volume.